Hello, it's nice to be with you today. Have you ever been jolted awake in the middle of the night, your calf muscle twisting into a painful knot that makes you gasp for breath? If you're over 55, chances are you've experienced this at least once, and maybe it happens to you often. Nighttime leg cramps are not only painful, they can steal your sleep, your energy, and eventually your confidence to stay active. Many seniors brush them off as just old age, or they assume it's always dehydration. But modern nutritional science tells us a much more fascinating and empowering story. Researchers now know that leg cramps are deeply connected to subtle imbalances in the body's mineral and nutrient reserves. Yes, dehydration plays a role, but the real culprits are shortages of potassium, magnesium, calcium, and even omega-3 fatty acids that control nerve and muscle function. When your diet is missing these nutrients, or when your body struggles to absorb them properly, the muscles become twitchy, like an engine firing without enough fuel. And when this happens at night, when circulation slows and the nervous system shifts, cramps strike. The exciting news: you don't need exotic supplements or risky medications to fight back. Science-backed studies, including the Healthline Nutrition Review by Kubala in 2025 and research published in the Journal of Nutritional Science, have highlighted a golden list of everyday foods that dramatically reduce the frequency and severity of cramps. Avocados, rich in potassium, salmon, brimming with omega-3s, leafy greens, that pack in magnesium, and fermented dairy that adds both calcium and vitamin K2. All of these foods act like natural medicine for your muscles. And here's the best part: you can combine these foods into a simple, tasty weekly meal plan. Imagine enjoying creamy avocado toast at breakfast, a refreshing yogurt parfait with berries, a grilled salmon dinner with spinach on the side, and even a homemade electrolyte drink you can sip before bed. Each bite is not only delicious, but also part of a defense system that keeps cramps from robbing you of rest. Now here's where it gets really intriguing. Out of the 12 golden foods that science recommends, one in particular has been shown to cut nighttime cramp frequency by nearly half when eaten just 3 times a week. Most people overlook it because it seems so ordinary, but inside it carries a nutrient punch that muscles crave. Can you guess which food it is? Stay with me, because as we dive deeper, I'll walk you through each of these 12 foods, the science that makes them powerful, and the exact ways you can use them daily. By the end of this video, you won't just know why cramps happen, you'll have the tools to stop them naturally, safely, and deliciously. When you think about leg cramps, the old advice you might have heard decades ago was simple: drink more water. While hydration does matter, the science of 2025 paints a clearer picture. Cramps are less about a single cause and more about a threshold when several factors combine. Your muscles suddenly lock. Poor circulation at night, fatigue medications, and especially nutrient deficiencies stack together until the threshold is crossed and the cramp arrives. This is where nutrition becomes your most powerful ally. Let's start with the first star food, the avocado. Often called nature's butter, avocados are loaded with potassium, a mineral that helps your muscles relax after contraction. Just one medium avocado provides nearly 15% of your daily potassium needs. Compare that to the banana. While still good, it's no longer the king of potassium. Imagine spreading avocado on whole grain toast at breakfast. Not only is it creamy and satisfying, it also builds a protective buffer for your muscles at night. Next comes salmon, the jewel of omega-3 fatty acids. Why does this matter for cramps? Omega-3s reduce inflammation in the muscle tissue and improve blood flow, which is crucial when circulation naturally slows during sleep. A 2024 Journal of Nutritional Science analysis found that older adults who consumed oily fish like salmon at least twice a week reported significantly fewer cramps compared to those who didn't. If you're not a fan of salmon sardines, and mackerel are excellent alternatives. Now let's turn to leafy greens, spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. These vegetables are magnesium powerhouses. Magnesium works like a switch that tells muscles when to stop contracting. Without enough of it, your muscles can get stuck on, leading to cramps. In fact, one review showed that older adults with higher magnesium intake had up to 40% fewer cramps. Adding a cup of steamed spinach to dinner or tossing kale into a smoothie is an easy way to tip the balance in your favor. And don't overlook yogurt and other fermented dairy products. They supply calcium, which is critical for the contraction-relaxation cycle of muscle fibers. But here's an even bigger secret: fermented dairy often provides vitamin K2, a nutrient that directs calcium to the right places, your bones and muscles, instead of letting it stiffen arteries. This dual action helps your muscles stay strong and your circulation healthy. Imagine ending your evening with a small bowl of yogurt topped with berries. It's not only a treat, but also a prescription for calmer nights. So far, we've seen how potassium, omega-3s, magnesium, and calcium each play unique roles in muscle health. But here's the challenge. Eating one nutrient in isolation rarely solves the problem. It's the synergy of these foods together, avocado with leafy greens, salmon with a side of yogurt-based dip, that transforms your diet into a protective shield. And that's exactly what we'll explore in the next section: how to combine these foods into a simple 7-day anti-cramp meal plan. But before we get there, let me ask you, have you ever noticed that your cramps often strike more on the nights when you skipped vegetables or after a day of eating processed food? That's no coincidence. Nutrition is writing the script for your muscles, meal by meal. Now that you've met some of the star players, let's put them together into a plan that works in real life. Because knowing that avocado, salmon, spinach, and yogurt can help is powerful. But unless they show up on your plate consistently, the cramps will keep coming back. That's why researchers and nutritionists recommend building these foods into a 7-day anti-cramp meal plan that balances potassium, magnesium, calcium, and omega-3s in just the right way. Picture this. On the first day, you might start your morning with a slice of avocado toast sprinkled with chia seeds, then move on to a light lunch of spinach salad with grilled chicken and a handful of walnuts before finishing the day with a dinner of salmon and roasted sweet potatoes. On the second day, imagine beginning with a creamy Greek yogurt parfait, enjoying a plate of whole-grain pasta tossed with kale and olive oil for lunch, and ending the evening with sardines served over brown rice. By the third day, you could wake up to a bowl of oatmeal topped with banana slices and pumpkin seeds, refresh yourself at midday with a kale and yogurt smoothie, and settle into the night with baked salmon paired with steamed broccoli. Do you see the pattern? These meals are simple, familiar, and delicious, but at the same time, they're packed with the minerals your muscles desperately need, and so on. Notice something. These meals aren't exotic or difficult. They're simple foods you already recognize. But arranged the right way, they deliver the minerals and fatty acids your muscles need to relax. Let's break it down by nutrients. Adults over 60 need roughly 3,500 to 4,700 milligrams of potassium per day. That might sound intimidating, but half an avocado gives you 500 milligrams, a cup of spinach, another 800 milligrams, and a medium sweet potato adds 500 milligrams more. Suddenly, you're already halfway there, without even counting fruits like oranges or beans. For magnesium, the target is about 320 milligrams for women and 420 milligrams for men daily. A cup of cooked Swiss chard gives 150 milligrams, a serving of pumpkin seeds nearly 170 milligrams, and a piece of salmon adds another 50 milligrams. When you stack these foods together, your magnesium intake lands right in the sweet spot. Now, calcium. Seniors need about 1,000 to 200 milligrams per day. A single cup of yogurt delivers around 300 milligrams, a slice of cheese, about 200 milligrams, and leafy greens like collard greens can contribute another 250 milligrams. And when you choose fermented dairy, you also get vitamin K2 to help guide calcium into the muscles and bones where it belongs. Finally, omega-3 fatty acids. Aim for at least 250 to 500 milligrams per day. A 3-ounce serving of salmon provides more than 1,500 milligrams, plenty to cover your needs. Even a can of sardines packs over 1,000 milligrams. And if you don't like fish, chia seeds and flax seeds are good plant-based alternatives, though less concentrated. Now let's talk about something special, a homemade electrolyte drink that not only hydrates, but also delivers the minerals your muscles crave. It's simple. Take 2 cups of water, add the juice of half a lemon, a teaspoon of honey, a pinch of sea salt, and this is the key, a splash of coconut water. Coconut water alone contains about 600 milligrams of potassium, turning your drink into a muscle-friendly hydrator that's far cheaper and safer than store-bought sports drinks. This is where the story gets exciting. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet. You just need to make consistent swaps, replace chips with a handful of almonds, soda with your homemade electrolyte drink, or ice cream with yogurt and berries. Small shifts stack up. And within weeks, many seniors report waking up with fewer cramps, better sleep, and more energy during the day. But here's the question. If nutrition is this powerful, why do so many people still suffer from cramps? The answer lies in hidden traps, habits, and foods that quietly undo your progress. And some of these might be on your dinner table tonight. Let's talk about the hidden traps, the things most people don't realize are fueling their cramps. Because while adding potassium, magnesium, calcium, and omega-3s can transform your nights, eating the wrong foods or following certain habits can quickly undo your progress. One of the biggest culprits, highly processed foods. Packaged snacks, frozen dinners, and fast food are loaded with sodium, but almost completely stripped of potassium and magnesium. This imbalance means your body holds on to water, but doesn't get the minerals it needs for proper muscle function. Imagine filling your gas tank with the wrong fuel. It might run for a bit, but the engine eventually sputters and stalls. That's what your muscles feel like when they're drowning in sodium, but starved of potassium. Another red flag is excess caffeine and alcohol. Both act as diuretics, pushing fluids and electrolytes out of your system. Have you ever noticed that cramps tend to hit after a night of a few extra drinks, or after an afternoon of strong coffee without enough food? That's not coincidence. It's your body signaling that the electrolyte balance has tipped. Medications can also play a hidden role. Diuretics for blood pressure, statins for cholesterol, and even some osteoporosis drugs can lower magnesium or potassium levels. If you've ever started a new prescription and noticed cramps becoming more frequent, it's worth mentioning to your doctor. Adjustments or supplementation might make a world of difference. Then there's the issue of low activity and circulation. Muscles that stay idle during the day often tighten and stiffen at night. It's like a rubber band that never gets stretched. When it finally does, it snaps. Even simple habits like stretching your calves before bed or walking after dinner can dramatically reduce cramp risk. But perhaps the sneakiest trap of all, believing that one nutrient or one food is the magic bullet. This is where many people go wrong. They'll eat a banana every day thinking potassium alone is the solution, yet cramps still haunt them. Why? Because cramps are rarely about just one missing piece. They're about the threshold of multiple factors stacking together. And here's a sobering truth in surveys of older adults with severe cramps. Many had diets technically high in potassium, but still lacked magnesium and omega-3s. That means you can't rely on one food or supplement. You need the full orchestra of nutrients playing together. So here's what I want you to remember. Reducing cramps isn't about quick fixes. It's about creating an environment where your muscles feel supported 24 hours a day. That means balancing your plate, watching hidden traps, and paying attention to your body's signals. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, the warning signs you can't afford to ignore. Because sometimes cramps are not just cramps. They can signal circulation problems, nerve damage, or deeper health issues, and knowing when to act could literally save your independence. Here's the truth many people don't want to hear. While most nighttime leg cramps are the result of nutritional gaps and lifestyle habits, sometimes they're actually red flags for more serious conditions, and ignoring them can carry heavy consequences. If your cramps are happening alongside numbness, tingling, or burning sensations in your feet, this could point to peripheral neuropathy, often linked to diabetes. If you notice skin color changes, cold feet, or slow-healing sores, it could indicate poor circulation or even peripheral artery disease. And if cramps come with sudden swelling, warmth, and tenderness in one leg, you must treat it as an emergency. It could be a blood clot. These aren't just nuisances, they're medical dangers. That's why the most important advice I can give you is this: pay attention to patterns. Keep a simple cramp diary. Note when they happen, what you ate that day, how active you were, and any other symptoms. Over time, the diary often reveals the hidden triggers, whether it's nights after salty dinners, days with little movement, or weeks when medications changed. Doctors love this kind of record because it helps them pinpoint the cause and prevent serious complications. Now let's bring everything together. You've learned about the 12 golden foods backed by science: avocado, salmon, spinach, yogurt, nuts, seeds, sweet potatoes, and more that load your body with potassium, magnesium, calcium, and omega-3s. You've seen how to turn them into a simple 7-day meal plan. You've discovered the traps to avoid processed foods, excess caffeine and alcohol, certain medications, and you now know the warning signals that mean it's time to see a doctor. But beyond the science and lists of foods, here's the real takeaway. Every meal is a chance to change the story of your muscles. You don't have to live in fear of being jolted awake by pain. You don't have to accept cramps as an inevitable part of aging. With the right choices, you can rewrite your nights into ones of peace, rest, and energy for the days ahead. So I want to leave you with this: cramps are not punishments. They're messages. They're your body's way of saying, "Help me find balance again." And the tools to answer that call are not hidden in a pharmacy. They're sitting right on your plate. If this video has been helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future science-backed tips. Hit the like button to let me know this content matters to you. And please share it with friends or family who might be suffering quietly. It could be the lifeline they've been waiting for. And here's a little teaser in the next video. I'll reveal the 3 hidden bedtime habits that secretly trigger cramps in seniors and how to fix them in less than 2 minutes. You won't want to miss it.